Hi, I'm MJ. Today we are going to discuss how to implement psychology principles to teach your child to stop throwing tantrums. I am a professor in multiple schools, and this chapter seems to resonate with my students the most.
Let's start with an example that looks similar to all parents. Your child throwing a tantrum in the middle of the store because you said no, they can't buy candy. Of course, it seems whenever this happens, crowds appear out of nowhere to give you dirty looks as you stand there in utter embarrassment. Most parents give in due embarrassment and humiliation and give the child what they want. This is the worst thing you can do to stop a tantrum, and psychology can prove it. There is this scientist named Thorndike. Thorndike discovered Operant conditioning. We can do this by adding something pleasant to increase the behavior in the future. This is called positive reinforcement. In psychology, positive means adding something. So let's review the example in the store. This is what really happened. The child wanted the candy. The parent said no. The child threw a tantrum. The parent gave in and gave the child what they wanted. The parent added something pleasant, the candy, to get this child to stop. This tells the child, the next time I want candy and my parents say no, I can just cry plus scream and they'll say yes. The parents just positively reinforce the behavior of a tantrum. So what should we do instead? We'll use Operant conditioning to our advantage.
There's only two things you can do to a behavior. You can increase behavior, which is called reinforcement, or you can decrease behavior, which is called punishment. In psychology, punishment only means decreased behavior, that's it.
The way we can increase or decrease behavior is by either adding something or taking something away. Let's break it down. Here are our four options available to us. We can add something to increase behavior. Since we are adding something as positive reinforcement. An example of reinforcement is adding praise or adding extra TV time for the child in order to increase the desired behavior the child is already doing. The second option to increase behavior is removing something unpleasant for the child to increase desired behavior. Since we are removing something, we can also decrease behavior, which we know is called punishment. We can add something to decrease behavior, which is called positive, since we are adding something in punishment, since we are decreasing behavior. An example of positive punishment is adding scolding or a timeout. You are adding something unpleasant to decrease behavior. Our last option to decrease behavior is removing something. We know it's negative since we are removing something, and we know it's punishment because we are decreasing behavior. An example is removing dessert after that behavior in order for that behavior to decrease.
Let's return to our example. First question you need to ask yourself is, do I want this behavior to increase or decrease? In this example, we want the behavior of throwing a tantrum to decrease. Since we want to decrease behavior, we know we are using punishment. Our choice is a positive punishment or negative punishment. Let's take away our attention in this example until the child calms down. We are using negative punishment. Now the child learns, if I want something and my parents say no, if I cry this will not work, and they will eventually stop throwing tantrums because it's not giving them what they want. Is there a way we can stop tantrums from ever happening? Yes. We can reinforce good behavior with praise, stickers, hugs, or kisses. Anything the child likes we can use as a reinforcer.
You are being so good in the store shopping with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Daddy.
The dad added prayers to reinforce the little girl's good behavior.
Now, this child learned, when I am good in the store, Daddy will praise me. This child is less likely to throw a tantrum in the future.
The first two questions you should always ask yourself is one, do I want this behavior to increase or decrease? That will tell you if you are using reinforcement or punishment. The second question is, am I going to add or subtract / remove something in order to decrease or increase that behavior? Remember, if you're using reinforcement, the thing you add or take away has to be something the child likes. Praise may be reinforcing for one child, but another may not like it, so for the child it could decrease behavior instead of increase like you want. All children are different. The same rules apply when you want to decrease, punish behavior. You have to pick something the child finds unpleasant. Again, all children are different. What one child doesn't like, another may like it.
Now go practice your new psychology tools. Super parents, you just unlocked a new power to stop and avoid tantrums. I hope you enjoyed. Send me an email if you have any questions on 6ray.com.